I was not the hero they wanted. I was the offering they could spare.
Wash away the blood I've spilled today. No.
They died with honor. I survived with shame. When the black-sailed ship carried me to Crete, I did not weep as others did. I had already died at Marathon. My body simply forgot to fall. Knossos, jewel of the great sea, built on sacrifice, sustained by tribute, my tribute.
He's going in.
These gates had swallowed 14 Athenians every 9 years since time remembered. None returned.
How dare
King Minos, son of Zeus, keeper of the beast, architect of my deliverance. He saw what others did not, a man seeking the labyrinth, not dreading it. Ariadne, keeper of the thread, daughter of the curse. She looked at me as one monster recognizes another. She offered what others had died for, a path back to the sun. I told her I had no use for a path back. I only sought a path forward, to the ending I had earned. She understood. Perhaps she too carried guilt she could not name. The darkness welcomed me like an old friend. I had lived in darkness since Marathon. Now I would die in it. The door sealed behind us. The screaming began. Not mine. The labyrinth held its treasures well. Every bone, a story. Every skull, a failed prayer to gods who did not listen.
No, please don't let
7
this happen.
souls, still hoping. I had already surrendered hope. It was liberating.
Mercy.
The bones pointed right. Previous victims had been herded. Poseidon's curse. Minos refused sacrifice, so the god made his queen love the bull. The beast was born of divine cruelty. The beast was awake and hungry. There you are. I have walked so far to meet you. The others wanted to hide. I wanted to be found. We walked the same path toward opposite fates. How many years of tribute? How many Athenian prayers unanswered? I stood among my future and felt only peace. Athena's owl, goddess of wisdom. Where was her wisdom when she led these men to slaughter? Then I heard them, voices in the stone. The dead do not rest easy here.
We are waiting.
Voices of the fallen, Greek voices, Athenian voices. They were calling, not warning, guiding.
Brother.
They showed me the way, the dead guiding me to join them, or to free us all. I walked among heroes who found no heroic end. Perhaps I could give them one. The dead could go no further. The living must descend alone. Daedalus built not just a prison, but a path to the underworld. Turn back. Return. The advice of men who wanted to live. I read it as a promise. I was going the right way. Below the labyrinth built by mortal hands lay caves carved by the gods themselves, or by something older than gods. The river of the underworld. Styx, Lethe, Acheron. The poets gave many names. Here it simply waited, patient as death. I had crossed the river. Whatever I found now would be beyond mortal reckoning. Older than Daedalus, older than Minos. These symbols were carved when gods still walked openly among mortals. Closer. Good. Find me, beast. End this. The heart of the labyrinth. The beast's home. Prison and sanctuary for 500 years of divine punishment. It mourns them. After it kills, it grieves. What monster does that? What man does not? 500 years of loneliness. Its victims became its only companions. I understood solitude, but not this. This was exile beyond exile. I know you're there. I've come to find you, not to escape.
Will be your grave.
There was no madness in those eyes, only sorrow, only endless, patient sorrow. Asterion, son of the White Bull, cursed before birth, imprisoned after, fed on those who feared him. We were not so different, he and I. In 500 years, how many had looked at him without screaming? How many had seen him, truly seen him? He spoke. In 5 centuries of isolation, he had taught himself words. Words for what? There was no one to hear them. I told him the truth. Because I am tired of running, I came here to die. Perhaps you can help me. It sat. The most feared creature in the Greek world sat before me like a child awaiting judgment. I told him of Marathon, of the regiment that died while I lived, of the guilt that followed me across the sea. He understood. He knew guilt older than my grandfather, born of a god's curse, fed on human flesh because they gave him nothing else. 5 centuries of killing what he would have loved if anyone had taught him how. The hunger, Poseidon's true curse, not the form, the need to survive. He must kill. To kill, he must suffer. There is no peace for Asterion. He asked me for death. The greatest monster of Greek legend begged for what I had come seeking. We were mirrors. I came to die, but perhaps death could mean something. Perhaps I could free us both. I stood, not as an executioner, as a brother, as a mercy. He rose to meet me, not as prey, as a warrior, accepting his final battle, as a prisoner, embracing freedom. We understood each other. No words needed. 2 monsters, 1 purpose. He would not accept a sacrifice. He demanded a battle. His death must be earned. First blood, mine. He drew first blood, but did not press. He wanted a fight, not a murder. Honor from a monster. For the first time since Marathon, I fought to win, not to die. His blood joined mine on the stone. Equal sacrifice, equal pain. His strength, beyond mortal. 1 blow could end me. I smiled. When had I last smiled? The beast had given me back myself. Not the sword. The thread I refused. Perhaps the rope could do what Ariadne's gift could not. I gave him a leash. For 1 moment, I controlled the monster. No mortal rope could hold him, but that was not the purpose. The rope was never meant to hold, only to unbalance, only to create the opening. Our blood mixed on the stone. In that moment, we were brothers, both damned, both seeking release. We ran toward each other, toward ending, toward peace. My blade found his heart. His hands found mine, holding the sword in place. He wanted this. He welcomed this. Even in death, he protected me. 500 years of killing, and his last act was kindness. I held his face as a mother holds a child. I watched the pain leave his eyes. I watched peace arrive. Brother, he called me with his final breath. The monster named me family. I was honored.
Brother.
I wept. For Asterion, for the centuries of loneliness, for the curse that made him a monster when he was born a child. The labyrinth knew its prisoner was dead, and it chose to die with him. I could run. The tunnels might hold long enough. I might reach daylight. But I came here to die, and I would not let him die alone. I pulled in close, monster in my arms, like a sleeping child. We would face the end together. The labyrinth screamed as it died. 5 centuries of horror, ending in one glorious collapse. And in that moment, the gods looked down. Athena's wisdom, Dionysus's madness, perhaps even Poseidon, seeing his curse finally ended. Athena, she who cursed Medusa, who guided heroes. She saw me not as failed warrior, but as mercy giver. The guilt lifted. Marathon's ghosts released me. I had found my purpose, freeing another prisoner of fate. The stones fell. I watched them come. I was not afraid. I pressed my head to his. 2 monsters, 2 prisoners, 2 brothers, finding peace in the same grave. And then silence. The labyrinth's voice stopped. The beast's prison was now our grave. Our hands found each other in the darkness. Even stone could not break that grip. The world above felt the tremor. The labyrinth that had endured since Daedalus was no more. Minos felt it. The end of Poseidon's curse, the shame of his bloodline buried at last. Ariadne understood. The warrior who refused her thread had found his own path, and her brother, her monster brother, was finally free. She sent her thread to find them in the dark, a gift for the grave, a path for the souls. The thread found its way through stone and shadow. Even Daedalus's maze could not keep it from its purpose. Ariadne's thread bound what death could not part. Brother and warrior, monster and man, together for eternity. And we rose, not as we had lived, broken and guilty, but as we might have been, brothers in spirit. Free at last, the light took us, not cold oblivion, warm embrace. The gods remembered us. Perhaps they had been watching all along. The river waited. Charon waited. But for the first time in memory, he had 2 passengers who arrived together. By choice, I paid for us both. Someone above had remembered the coins. Someone had honored even a man who walked willingly to death. The crossing was peaceful. I had feared the underworld all my life. Now I traveled it with a friend. The shore of the dead. I had expected fear. Instead, I felt hope. The path to Elysium lay before us. The Hall of Judgment, where souls learn their eternal destination. We walked toward it without fear. Our judgment already passed in the labyrinth. Asterion stopped. On the center throne sat Minos, his father, his jailer, now his judge. The cruelty of the gods knows no bounds. Minos wept. For 500 years in death, he had judged souls. Now his own sin stood before him in his son's face. 3 words: I forgive you. Asterion gave his father what Minos could never have earned, what none of us earn: grace. The judge of the dead knelt before the monster he created. In all of eternity, the hall had never seen this. Centuries of pain released in one embrace. Centuries of pain released in one embrace. The monster and the man who made him. Forgiven. Healed. Elysium. The paradise of heroes. Judged worthy not for our lives, but for our deaths. For mercy given and received. He left his father with love restored. He returned to me with purpose renewed. We had further to travel. The path to Elysium grew brighter with every step. Behind us, death. Before us, eternity. Beside me, my brother. The gates of Elysium open, waiting. We had earned this, not through heroic deeds, but through simple mercy. We changed as we entered, not erased, perfected. Elysium gave us the selves we should have been, the selves we were beneath the scars. Heroes of legend, victims of fate. They welcomed us, all of us, the warrior and the monster both. My regiment, my brothers, they had waited for me, not with blame, with love. The guilt I carried for years was never theirs to give. We found each other again, in paradise, brothers who never knew each other in life, now bound for eternity. This is how monsters become heroes. Eternity is a long time, but with a brother beside you, it passes like a summer afternoon. The world above moved on. Where the labyrinth fell, flowers grew. Where horror dwelt, peace took root. They built a shrine to us, to the warrior who chose death, to the monster who found mercy. Some stories are worth remembering.
For the strength
Ariadne remembered. Every year she brought flowers for her brother, for the stranger who gave him peace. They told our story around fires, in temples, across generations. The truth changed. Stories always do, but the heart remained. Centuries flowed. The shrine weathered, but always someone remembered. Always someone came. And we watched eternity unfold together, as brothers should. He asked me once, when we had been dead longer than we had been alive, if I regretted it, refusing the thread, choosing death. I told him the truth, that refusing the thread was the best choice I ever made. It led me to him. It led me home. The mortal world forgot, as mortal worlds do. But the stones remember. The earth remembers. Some deaths echo forever. Beneath the earth, our bones still hold each other. The thread still binds us. Some bonds cannot be broken. Not by time, not by death. We found our place among heroes, not for the lives we lived, but for the deaths we chose. The feast never ends here. The wine never empties. The stories never grow stale. This is what heroes earn. This is what mercy provides. He laughed. My brother, the monster, laughed like a child at a festival. In 500 years of life, he never knew this sound. We lay beneath stars that never were, constellations of heroes who came before us. Someday, they said, we would be up there too. They gave us stars, the warrior and the beast, they called us, forever joined in the night sky. Forever joined in the night sky. In the earth, our bones feel the stars. In the sky, our souls feel the earth. Connected, eternal. One. We rose. We returned. The feast awaited. Eternity awaited. And we would face it together. Ariadne's thread connects us still. Through death, through earth, through stars, through eternity. The path she offered, I finally walk. If you who still breathe can hear me, know this. Mercy is never wasted, even on monsters, especially on monsters, because we are all monsters in our way, and we all need someone to see past the horns, past the hunger, to the heart beneath. And so we walk into forever. Two monsters who became brothers, two deaths that became one life. I was not the hero they wanted. I was the offering they could spare. But in the darkness, I found my purpose. In the monster, I found my brother. In death, I found my life. This is my story. This is our story. Forever.